Welcome students. In the previous lectures, we have seen the electrophilic addition to carbon-carbon double bond. Here we are proceeding further. Hydroxylation, that is formation of 1,2-diols. Compounds containing double bonds on treatment with cold aqueous solution of potassium permanganate add two hydroxy, that is OH groups, across the double bond to form 1,2-dihydroxy compounds known as glycols or 1,2-dihydroxy alkanes. That is, two hydroxyl groups are added. Okay, here the alkene compound reaction with water in presence of cold aqueous potassium permanganate. These two hydroxy groups are added 1,2-diol glycol. The reaction is called as hydroxylation. For example, reaction on ethene giving 1,2-dihydroxyethane. Reaction on propene giving 1,2-dihydroxypropane. That is, another name is propylene glycol. When hydroxylation is carried out with cold aqueous potassium permanganate, it is a cis addition process and it goes through the formation of cyclic intermediate. Yes, we are going to see how the addition takes place. That is the mechanism. This is the propene molecule and this is the potassium permanganate. O4, these are the O4s. Okay. This cyclic intermediate is formed first, which is on hydrolysis, gives these compound containing diol, that is 2OH, propylene glycol, due to which we get 1,2-diol. This reaction is also used as a qualitative test for testing unsaturation in an organic compound, whether the compound contains unsaturation. The formation of 1,2-diol indicates the presence of this unsaturation. Okay. Again, when this unknown organic compound is treated with cold dilute solution of potassium permanganate, the disappearance of pink color indicates the presence of double bond. That is, the test with potassium permanganate of unsaturated compound, that is unknown unsaturation in the compound can be detected. The double bond in unsaturated compound is oxidized by this potassium permanganate and therefore the pink color vanishes, and this KMnO4, that is potassium permanganate, is reduced to black manganese dioxide. Then osmium tetroxide, OSO4, is the another reagent which brings about hydroxylation of double bond. When alkene is treated with the ethereal solution of this osmium tetroxide, glycol is obtained, that is 1,2-diol. The reaction proceeds through the formation of cyclic osmic ester intermediate, as like that of potassium permanganate cyclic intermediate. This is the ethene molecule. This is osmium tetroxide, 1, 2, 3, 4 tetroxide. The first cyclic intermediate is formed which on hydrolysis gives diol, that is ethylene glycol. Then next reaction is hydroboration oxidation formation of alcohols. Now borane BH3 is a neutral strong electrophile as it has a empty p orbital. Now free bromine is not available as it is spontaneously dimerized to diborane B2S6. And when diborane is dissolved in diethyl ether, a complex of ether and borane is formed. And this complex is used as source of this borane. When the borane ether complex is allowed to react with alkene molecule, there is a rapid addition across the double bond. This is obtained from this borane ether complex. With our alkene molecule, rapid addition across the double bond, and the product is alkyl borane, and the reaction is called hydroboration. This is a monoalkyl borane. Borane undergoes rapid and quantitative reaction with alkenes to form organoborane, that is R3b. The overall reaction is the result of 3 separate reaction steps. In each step, one alkyl group is added to borane unit until all the 3 hydrogens are replaced by alkyl group. Okay, this is a one, that is a alkene molecule. The reaction with borane, first step. This is the second step. Okay, in each step one alkyl group is added in each step. Okay, here one alkyl group is added each time. This is a RCH2CH21. In the second case, it is number is 2, and in the third case, it is a 3. Okay, and thus these hydrogens are replaced one by one, and thus trialkyl borane is obtained. Now, these organoboranes, when treated with alkaline hydrogen peroxide, are easily oxidized to alcohols. This is a final product on treatment with peroxide. The alcohol is obtained. Okay. Now we can summarize the hydroboration oxidation reaction as addition of borane in ether to an alkene molecule to form initially trialkyl borane, that is 3 alkyl group, that is R3 and B, which on oxidation with alkaline hydrogen peroxide, the reaction is shown above, gives alcohol. This reaction appears as if water had been added to a double bond in an anti-Markovnikov's manner. Okay, this is water is actually added as seems. Here, our alkene molecule reaction with borane forming trialkyl borane, and then treatment with hydrogen peroxide oxidation, the formation of this alcohol. Then next one is hydrogenation, that is formation of saturated compound alkane. Now these alkenes add hydrogen in the presence of metal catalyst forming the corresponding alkane. This process is known as catalytical hydrogenation, and it involves the addition of hydrogen molecule at carbon-carbon double bond. This is the alkene molecule, addition of hydrogen in the presence of catalyst, therefore it is called as catalytical hydrogenation, and saturated compound alkane is formed from unsaturated alkene. The hydrogenation of alkene is carried out by passing a mixture of alkene vapors and hydrogen over a Raney-Nikel catalyst at 200 to 250 degrees centigrade. The reaction can be carried out by using palladium or platinum catalyst at low, that is room temperature. Okay, and when Raney-Nikel is used, the higher temperature is required. This is our ethene molecule with hydrogen in presence of nickel catalyst. It is converted to ethane. Okay, propene to propane and butene to butane. Hydrogenation, that is addition of hydrogen across the double bond. Now in the modern practice, the metal catalyst is added to a solution of alkene in suitable solvent like ethanol. The flask containing this mixture is connected to a tank containing hydrogen at the pressure 1 to 4 atmosphere. As the flask is shaken, the reactants and the catalyst come in contact and the reaction proceeds. Thus, catalytic hydrogenation of alkene takes place at moderate temperature and pressure. Okay, this is the modern practice of hydrogenation of alkenes. Now, mechanism. It has been found that the catalytic hydrogenation reaction involves the chemiabsorption, the process of exothermic adsorption of gases by solids in which chemical link is formed between the adsorbing and adsorbed material. When catalytic hydrogenation of alkene involves gases, reactants and product, it occurs through these steps. Initially, the hydrogen molecules are adsorbed on the metal surface. That is, adsorption is a surface phenomena, and therefore hydrogen molecules are adsorbed on the metal surface. This is the metal surface, and these are hydrogen molecules. These are adsorbed on the surface of the metal. Okay. When catalytic hydrogenation of molecules, initially the hydrogen molecules, okay, here absorption takes place, and then the sigma bond between two hydrogen atoms, this is a sigma bond between two hydrogen atoms, breaks, and then it is followed by formation of metal hydrogen bond. This is a metal hydrogen bond. Metal hydrogen bond. That is after breaking the sigma bond between two hydrogen atoms. Now alkanes are also adsorbed on the metallic surface on which hydrogen atoms are present, with its bond interacting with empty orbitals on the metal. Now these hydrogens are present on the metallic surface. Alkene molecule is taken. It is also adsorbed on this surface. Both hydrogen and alkene adsorbed here on the metal surface. Finally, the hydrogen atoms from the metal surface are transferred to bound alkene molecules to form alkane. These hydrogen atoms are transformed to form this alkane molecule. Okay. This mechanism is supported by experimental evidences. It may be noted that both the adding hydrogens approach from the same side of the double bond, that is, from below of the plane of the alkene molecule, and hence this is the cis addition on the same side. Cis addition reaction leading to the formation of cis addition product. Now, next reaction is ozonolysis, that is formation of aldehydes and ketones. Now, this ozone O3 is passed through the solution of alkene in an inert solvent like chloroform or carbon tetrachloride at room temperature. Ozone molecule is added across a double bond and the product form is called as a ozonide. This is alkene, this is ozone molecule, it is added this across the double bond forming ozonide, cyclic compound, ozonide. The reaction is known as ozonization of alkenes. Now here it should be noted that during ozonization, both sigma and pi bonds of alkenes are broken. Okay, the sigma bond is also broken between two carbon atom and pi bond is also broken, and thus both the bonds are broken during ozonolysis. Example, with ethene, this ethylene ozonide is formed, while with propene, this propylene ozonide is formed. Ozone is added across the double bond. This ozonide, when treated with reducing agent like zinc and water or hydrogen, in the presence of hydrogen, are cleaved at position of the double bond. Here ozonide is shown, and this is a cleavage of this ozonide at the position of the double bond in the presence of this catalyte, giving this carbon atom oxidized. Okay, this carbon atom get oxidized and another carbon atom get oxidized. Therefore, these two carbonyl compounds are obtained. Okay, giving two carbonyl fragments. The products are aldehydes or ketones, or aldehyde and ketone depending upon the nature of alkene taken for the reaction. The two steps of reaction of forming the ozonide and its decomposition leading to the formation of two carbonyl compound is known as ozonolysis. Hydrolysis, therefore lysis. First one ozonization and second step hydrolysis, therefore total ozonolysis. Okay. Here alkene on ozonolysis gives two carbonyl compounds, two molecules of formaldehyde. Here the alkene is different, therefore one product will be ketone, another will be aldehyde. This is aldehyde, this is a ketone on ozonolysis. Ozonolysis has been found to be the best method for locating the position of double bond in an unknown alkene molecule. Yes, we can fix because the product obtained clearly indicates that the double bond must be present in between these two ended carbon atoms. If unknown alkene is to be identified, it is subjected for ozonolysis reaction. The two products obtained by the ozonolysis are identified, that is, their structures are determined. The oxygenated carbons in the carbonyl compound, yes, this is oxygenated carbon, are the carbons that were joined by the double bond in the original alkene. Okay, this is the product of oxidation. This is aldehyde while this is a ketone, and therefore as here oxidation is carried out, this carbon atom and this carbon atom must be linked in the original compound with a double bond. Okay, and therefore these are marked with acid. Okay, and these are joined by a double bond in the original alkane. Hence, the structure of the compound is determined. Look here, these two carbon atoms are joined by the double bond, and that is location of the double bond is detected by the ozonolysis reaction. This carbon get oxidized, forming aldehyde, while this carbon atom is oxidized, giving this ketone acetone, and therefore breaking takes place here, and therefore double bond is in between these two carbon atoms. The location is determined. With this, I conclude my lecture. Thank you.